Hello.
Hello. How are you guys?
I'm I'm good. And you?
Good. Is Brandon with you guys in the office? Or did he
No,
make it there
he's in
yet?
Paris. He's in Paris right now.
On the way.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
we're gonna pick him up from the airport around 3 a.m. our time.
Oh my God.
And on Sunday, so tomorrow's gonna be like a relaxing day and get him like used to the time difference. And then on Sunday we're gonna do the whole tour of like the pyramids, the museums, and all of these things. So
Sweet.
So nice.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
Hello.
we'll send you guys a lot of pictures.
Please
That's
do.
awesome. I love it.
And I'm expecting a LinkedIn post about it as well.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely. He already did one from the airport. So
Yeah. I saw it.
Hey Tom. Must be not on audio yet.
Mhm.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
hi Aya, how are you?
Hi, I'm good.
Hi.
Hi, Mariana. Hi, Adam. Hi,
Hello.
Fadullah. Hi,
Hi.
Tom. Oh, no Brandon today.
Oh, he said he's joining.
Yes,
So
I
I'm
was in
not
a meeting with him 20 minutes ago, and he said he was going to join. So
Oh, cool. Okay.
maybe he got lost in the airport.
Yeah,
It's
probably.
easy to do in the Paris airport.
Yeah, it is. But I heard that we're having an extended weekend in the US, right, Adam?
Yeah, we all have Monday off.
Wow, that's good.
So at least those that work for normal companies, us solopreneurs don't have Monday off.
Yeah, the struggles.
Well, are we expecting any of the other guys? Or are they just assuming because Brandon's on his way? We're not doing this.
I know that Seth is out of office today, and Butch
Brandon
is
Lee,
on.
everybody.
Hi, Brandon.
You're
You're on
muted.
mute.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
All right. Hey
How's the
there. Hi,
airport
Aya.
life?
Bonjour.
It's you know, airport.
Not too
Nice,
crowded?
nice, nice.
Yeah.
It's it's been pouring rain here all day. So I was tempted to hop on the train and go into Paris, have lunch, and come back. But I was like, if I miss my flight, I get stuck in Paris. It's not gonna be pretty. So I didn't do it. Hey, I gotta tell you, I was surprised. Nobody said anything, but I was kind of wondering how many people outside of our team was going to show up today, with it being the day before Labor Day weekend.
We're all committed. Like I was telling Marina, us solopreneurs don't have a choice but to work on the weekends, even if it's a holiday.
Yeah, yeah, yep. That's a good point. I usually say that about my Saturday mornings.
Yeah. It's like,
So
yeah,
cool.
she's like, I heard everybody's got the day off. I'm like, not everybody.
No, it's actually Mariana, Monday is supposed to be a day
Yeah.
off, not
Yeah.
today. But usually people cut out at least by noon on Friday and just go, and no one else is working. Might as
Yeah.
well go have a beer. So, all right. Well, hey, let's jump into it on a Friday. Uh, I asked Mariana to join us, one, because she does great work, Two, we have some announcements that'll be coming up with Mariana and I and another gentleman out of Texas are going to be launching a new show. And we're working towards getting Mariana on full time with us at Fist Bump as well. So Mariana and I met on LinkedIn. I don't know, what's it been, 4 or 5 years ago now?
I don't think it's too long, that long. I think it was like
No?
2022 or something. But we
Oh,
clicked.
really? Okay. I
Yeah,
can't
I think it was
remember.
in the beginning
But
of the other show, Mastering Modern Selling, when it still was social
Oh,
selling for
okay.
newbies.
Oh, you know what? I thought I had you on as a guest of my other show, the Digital Influence Show before that.
No, unfortunately not.
That was where we met.
Yeah. Oh, I think I had on my gosh, my brain. I've had about 4 hours of sleep on my red eye to Paris, but I think I had the tricycle founders on the Digital Influence
Johan,
Show. Johan.
probably.
Yeah, I think I had them on that. That's why I keep associating you with back that time. So, but so we will have some announcements coming up over the next couple of months. But we've got a new show. I'll stay on Mastering Modern Selling. We're just finding that the paid ads targeted to a database from the show shorts is really, really doing well with my connection request outreach and the follow-up for the virtual coffee. And so I know we're working towards getting that going for you, James, with your show. We got that going with Seth and Shane on their new show. Hopefully you guys saw at least that was being announced, and they had their first episode yesterday, which is exciting. So Maria and I will have that coming out pretty soon. And like I said, she and I are going to be collaborating on some things around Funnel Amplified and Fist Bump. And so we're just working on all those details over the next couple of months. So, but Mariana is awesome, and what I love about her is not only did we get along great from day one, we think about LinkedIn and networking in this very similar fashion. What I really appreciate also about her, she's much more tactician around Navigator and around the how-to portions of LinkedIn and Navigator. And so she's got a new Navigator course that she's working on. So I invited her to come and talk to all of us about Navigator and what's new, what she finds is valuable, and all of that. And so we'll jump into that here. But first, as we normally do, anything. Oh, Adam's on a call, so we can talk about Adam while he's on his phone call. That'll be good. But anything you're discovering around LinkedIn, or you're discovering around digital networking, relationship building, anything that's been a bit of an aha moment, or any questions you have that you want to share with the rest of the group? Nope, nothing.
I've got one. I threw a post out there yesterday or a couple days ago. I mean, I've been awful at posting. I'll just tell it. I'll just start.
Was that your survey?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
my objective was to just basically have people identify if they're a target for Fist Bump. So and yeah, I've gotten really 25 responses so far.
Yeah.
So not great, but better than kicking the pants. I mean, they're all my connections, right? So
yeah. Flesh that out a little bit for us. What was the plan? What was the strategy? I know you had 4 different answers. I'm assuming people who answer like, no, I need help, you would reach out to them and say,
yeah. So the I mean, the post was really simple. It just said, like, the tagline was, "I've been struggling," right? So that was kind of my hook. And then I just said, "I love this
screen if you want."
What's that? Yeah, I can do that.
You can share the screen if you want to show it.
I can do that.
I like that. Call me sensei. That's cool.
So I got 8 people that voted that way. So, or 8%. Brandon Lee, sensei.
Perfect. That's great.
But like these 13 people in the post sometimes should do more. Like I may reach out to them and say, hey, by the way, I want to introduce you to my friend Brandon.
Kevin Miller would be a really good one. Rush share, Lee Richards. Lee's been saying that same thing for the last, I don't know, 3 years that I've known him.
I wouldn't count on Lee. But Nancy would be a good one. I think Russ is for the most part retired.
I was just say that's why. What was Russ saying? Post sometimes, should do more. He should be post occasionally when I'm not on a beach.
Yeah. And then I got 7 doom scrollers. So
Doom scroller, interesting. That's smart.
Yeah.
Didn't last week's conversation, or maybe it was a couple weeks ago, that the polls were kind of getting used a lot, or not as good feedback or engagement? Yeah,
what I've been hearing is that the survey engagement has been dropping because the thinking is they've kind of hit their peak, and they may taper off a little bit, then they'll pick back up. I think, Mariana, what do you hear about that?
Yeah, I'm also seeing the engagement drop, but I still like the format because it's something that is easy. And as humans, I think that our normal behavior is I want to be part of something. So if we see a survey happening and we can anonymously vote, we're going to go for it. Of course, I know that if I go vote for Adam, he will see my name, but the majority of people won't see it. So if you're scrolling through, you quickly engage with it. What I normally see is people engage by voting, but they don't engage by commenting or liking the survey. So we need to understand what is the most important. But the key thing for me with polls is, what are we going to do with the results? So exactly what Adam was saying, now that I know that people are scrolling through or that they want to post more, how can I help them and how can I use this information in a way that really helps me move my business or me connect with people better or me support other people? So it's about what we do after the result that we get.
Mm-hmm.
I think the strategy that had worked for a while, and I would imagine it still works the same. You just may not have as many people that vote. Is let the survey run for a week. In theory, the algorithm's going to keep showing it to more people because you can set a date that it's going to end. And then when it's over, write a LinkedIn newsletter article about the results. And then that goes out to everybody that have already subscribed, but it also gives you the ability to create the social post. And I think in some ways you're also mentally showing people that you kind of keep the loop, like you complete that circle.
Mm-hmm.
And I forget whose post I was commenting on earlier today. One of the big values of I see you everywhere and I feel like I know you, and really the consistency is, I think a lot of people sit back and they see these random acts of posting and they just sit back and wait. But when they start to see people that are consistent every day, or mostly every day, or things like that, it gives them confidence to actually engage with them because they feel like, oh, this is somebody, and fill in the blank. They're consistent. I believe they're going to show up. People are so scared. And I hear this a lot, but you got to pull it out of them. But tell me if this resonates. They're scared to comment because what if nobody comments back? What if I comment and no one says anything? Or what if I comment and someone says I'm wrong? Like they're so scared to do that. But when we demonstrate we're doing it, we're there, it gives them confidence to then comment on our post because they know we'll comment back. They know that we'll be an encourager or we'll be grateful or whatever, that we're going to show up. And I think when you do a survey and complete that whole circle, you're demonstrating to people that, hey, you show up. You're not just a drive-by poster. That makes sense?
Yeah. Drive-by poster. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Drive-by
in
post.
sales too, though, right? I mean, I talked
Yes.
I talked to my sales team about it. Like, just because you called somebody one time and they didn't answer or they said no, doesn't mean that they're not a prospect. They're a prospect. It's just not right now. And if
Mhm.
especially for the new guys, like, you know,
Yeah. And
yeah,
it's the same the psychology of networking, right? Remember, almost everything I do is things that I've learned and seen offline, and then I apply it into LinkedIn. If you go to a networking event the first time, you're a newbie. Nobody cares. I mean, it's
right.
not that they don't care, but they're more skeptical. You're
Yep.
new. They're like, are they going to hard sell me? What do they want? But you show up 4, 5, 6 times, and all of a sudden people go, "Hey, I keep seeing you here, and we haven't met yet." It's like you lower that barrier because there's always the lens. People always have a lens or a filter in which they're looking at you through, and we've got to think about that. Like, what's the lens? What the lens? Well, you look and smell like a commission breath salesperson when you show up the first time. Because unfortunately, that's what most people do. But you do it again, you do it again, you do it again. Then all of a sudden, the lens changes like, oh, this is somebody who's consistently publishing, or this is somebody. You guys hear me? It got loud.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. That's
It's
really loud.
the commitment, right? I mean, because behind the continual showing up, it shows investment of your time and of your energy, and it's that commitment that makes me want to trust you because I know that you're bought in. It's easy just for you to show up one time or a couple of times.
And Tom, you could
What
probably
up,
speak to
Tom?
that. Now you got your camera on.
Hey guys, sorry I'm late. I was here but on a call, so I didn't catch the first part.
But and I think that what I was going to say, and Tom, you and I have experienced this with our show, and you've experienced it with your other show. And James, you're starting to get to this point in your show where people start to expect us to be there and they know you for it. It takes a little bit of time because how many people have started? That's why when you say a show or a podcast, they go, oh yeah, everybody has one. Wrong. A lot of people start them, but they don't keep going because they quit. So the lens is, oh, another show. Oh, another show. Oh, but when you're doing it, like, oh, they're still going. Oh, they're still going. Oh, they're on episode 30. That's when the engagement starts to kick up. Tom, you and I saw that our comments just slowly started increasing. Our registration slowly started increasing. And honestly, like 50 with Daniel Disney was a turning point that took us to a new level. And now I feel like we're moving into yet another new level.
Yeah, I think it absolutely takes 50 episodes before people take you seriously, as pathetic as that sounds.
Rise above the noise, baby.
Well, it's the Malcolm Gladwell, the tipping point concept,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, just look at how
Perhaps
you look at things, right? I mean, I always try and look at it from the lens of how I would view it, right? If I see somebody the first 2, 3, 4 times, you don't really know if it's credible. But if there's 30, 40, 50 times, okay, there's got to be something here.
And that's we're so, I don't know what's the right word, jaded, skeptical, or realistic. Use the word you want when it comes to connection requests now. And you get that connection request and you go, okay, I'll accept it. And you just kind of wait for the pitch slap to come. It sucks, but it's true. And so if we're doing that, then they're doing it. How do you be different? Well, I've got a show, look at my posts, look at my comments, all the things that we can do to be different.
Yeah, I really like one thing that you mentioned. How do we feel when we've been pitch slapped, and why are we doing the same thing? Because normally we don't like it, but why do we do exactly the same thing that we are like, oh, that person again? So it's about reflecting back that what makes us feel good and how do we make people start trusting us. And I feel like LinkedIn is making it harder because now it's limiting to only 5 personalized connection requests if you don't have Sales Navigator, which makes it even harder because you're accepting because the person sounds credible, sounds interesting, but you don't know if it's going to come right up pitch slap that you didn't request for. But it is what it is.
Mariana, do you want to jump into a little bit of Navigator and what you've been finding and what's new, what you're learning? And then everybody can hear how much smarter Mariana is than I am.
Hey, Brandon, can I just give y'all a quick win I had this morning?
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
verifies what we're doing. So I started last week, like Brandon's Jeep Talks. I'm doing lessons from the old pro, and kind of a double entendre. The real old pro, the golf old pro.
I thought it was lessons from the old fart. Did I get that wrong?
That would be if it was just me, but there is a real old pro. Just quickly for validation, he's the only person I know. I'm sure there are others, but he played in the U.S. Junior, the U.S. Amateur, the U.S. Open, and the U.S. Senior Amateur, which means he was a really good golfer for 60 years. But he was real. He would always help you with your golf game, but it was real short to the point, and he didn't care whether you liked it or not. And like if you said, "Hey, pro, I'm hitting it to the right," he'd say, "Aim left," and just keep going. But what I've been writing these down for like 20 years, and with the intention of writing a book, which I'm going to do. But what I've been doing is taking videos from the golf course and telling a story from the golf course about the golf, and then relating it to business. And this is a guy that I know who he is, and he knows who I am, but we really don't know each other. And he owns a big time marketing agency here in the area I'm in. And if y'all see this, I had to be Robert on LinkedIn because to get verified. But he said, "Love this, Robert. Lessons from the old pro is a great way to generate new business in an interesting way." So that's, for me anyways, great validation that we're doing the right thing. You got to have a human side. People don't care about.
Yeah, people want to connect with people. They don't want to connect with robots. And that's how most people are coming across on the digital space. And then when they see a human touch, they say, okay, this is the real Butch behind it. I can connect with this person. I have similar tastes or similar likings. I can bond. Not the robot. Very nice.
Yeah, I love that.
It made me feel good. So thanks for listening.
Yeah, thanks, Butch. And you had another win the other day. Didn't you have somebody come up to you in the coffee shop who didn't know you or you didn't know and came over and said, "Hey, Butch"?
Yeah. That happened. I was in a coffee shop, and the guy came, put his hand on my shoulder, said, "Hey, Butch, how you doing? Good to see you here." I was like, "Oh, I'm doing great. How are you?" And I had an appointment with the guy I was sitting with. So I went over and looked through some connections on LinkedIn and found out who it was, and just sent him a quick text and said, "It's good to see you this morning. Let's get together soon."
All right, Mariana, all you. And unless anyone has anything else, Cups, you've been a little quiet. I bet you're working mostly. That's all right.
Multitasking. Sorry. Mariana, you got my attention now.
Good. So I was telling Brandon this morning that I'm starting to record a Sales Navigator training. And we were talking about how important it is, how to leverage. And before I start rumbling about Sales Navigator, does anyone here is currently leveraging Sales Navigator or not? A few hands. Okay, good.
I pay for it.
I'm using it.
Leveraging it's another story.
Yeah,
I use it daily. I use it every day.
Good.
I use it I use it, and I'm pretty technical, and I'm always getting confused by it. So if you can unconfuse this, that would be great.
That makes me feel better, Tom, because I have it and I feel the same way, and I'm not technical.
Yeah, I just like every time I feel like I have it figured out, I don't. So
yeah, because I feel like
make that 3 of us.
I feel like most people think that having a Sales Navigator will solve all the problems that they have, But the reality is there's a lot of things that you can do. And I always like to say it's almost like subscribing to Sales Navigator and not knowing how to use it is almost like buying a Porsche and not having a driver's license. You have an incredible machine, but you don't know how to use it. You don't know how to leverage it, and it's just parked in your garage. So you're not getting the results. You're paying $100 a month, and you're not seeing anything coming out of it. So based on this and based on many conversations that I have with people, I said, okay, there's an opportunity in the market. People are not understanding how to use the tool. I'm going to create a course, really simple, an hour and a half, 2 hours maximum, divided in a lot of different videos. And I'm discovering a lot of interesting things. So normally when we go into Sales Navigator, we are overloaded with a lot of different filters that you can use. We are adding people that are not relevant to me. And the first distinction that I like to make from LinkedIn to Sales Navigator is that on LinkedIn, I'm going to have my friends, my family, my coworkers, partners, people that I like and that I'm being nurtured by. On Sales Navigator, I'm going to have my business partners and people that are going to help me grow my business. So even if I really like, and it's true, I really like Brandon and Tom, I might not have them on Sales Navigator. I'm going to have them on LinkedIn. I'm going to engage with them on LinkedIn. But on Sales Navigator, I'm going to have new prospects and people that I might potentially want to do business with and I'm not connected to. If I'm connected with them, I'm going to remove them from my Sales Navigator because I'm going to focus them in a different perspective. Sales Navigator is, for me, a place for me to discover new people. And there are multiple ways that we can do it. I'm going to quickly share my screen. And as I was saying, we have...
Mariana,
Yes.
do you want questions now or you want me to hold it?
Feel free to interrupt me.
I'm just curious. The primary reason I use it is lists, and I'm curious why I would want to delete my connections from those lists.
You don't need to delete them. I'm just saying the way that I use it. And for example, if I added you into a lead list I have, and we're not connected, but then we connect, I wouldn't go there and delete you. But for example, Brandon, Tom, and Butch that I know for a long time, I wouldn't add them into my Sales Navigator. But if I discover them through Sales Navigator, they would sit there forever and ever.
Okay, gotcha.
So normally, what do I do when I come to Sales Navigator? If I come here into the lead filters, there's a lot of things that we can do, but particularly one that I really like is coming here, for example, in the best path off, and I can say, I want to discover connections from Brandon. This will open up a new world to me. People that I have a strong introduction path for them, but I'm currently not connected. So I remove everyone that I already know.
You're going to find a whole bunch of strange people when you look for connections with Brandon. I'm not sure that's good.
That might be the case. That might be the case. But I'm going to hope that they are interesting people as well. So I found a lot of people. It's going to be impossible for me to go through this 4.5K results that I have here. If I narrow it down by people that are creating content, posting on LinkedIn regularly, I'm already seeing this number drop by half. So the key thing for me here is understanding what are the filters that are helping me to get into the people that are most interesting to me. The filters that I like, and we can narrow it down, for example, by region. So I didn't properly introduce myself in the beginning, and I see you there, Brandon, just a second. I didn't properly introduce myself in the beginning, but I'm from Brazil and I'm living in Lisbon. So let's say that I want to engage with people that are connected to Brandon and are in Europe. I can even add it here. And I'm sure I'm going to lose a lot of the US people. I'm going to lose all of you for now, but I have 137 people. This could be the first priority that I have to start engaging with Brandon's connection. So I'm trying to create different ways and perspectives. And then I can say, okay, normally I'm selling business to companies with at least 50 employees, but not to big companies. So from 50 to 500, 29. This is my priority target. Yeah, Brandon.
What does it mean now? I think the last time I looked, when it says posted on LinkedIn, it was like, it was hard to find because LinkedIn doesn't really want to tell you, but it was like once per 30 days. Is that, do we have any more clarity on that? Because I never found value in that on posted on LinkedIn because it wasn't really like they were consistent. It was just more random.
It's not the most accurate thing, of course, but it is people that are at least commenting on someone else's post, so they are somehow active. What we can know by this post on LinkedIn is that they've been actively going on LinkedIn and leaving a mark. All the other people, they might be lurking on LinkedIn, but we can't say for sure that they are on LinkedIn or not.
So posted doesn't mean they've published content. It could be that they've liked some posts.
It could mean that they commented into a post or they at least reshared a post that someone did, even if they didn't add any kind of personal thought into it, but they clicked on the reshare button. So they really had an action on LinkedIn. It might not be, it could be view my verified achievement. It could be something that it doesn't add any kind of value. So we still need to go deeper and see here, for example, what did Carlos share? So 3 days ago, he shared something that sounds interesting. It's not something silly. I can come here and engage with it. But it's not the most accurate information. And there's a gap between the information from LinkedIn and Sales Navigator. Sometimes when I come here, which is not helpful, but sometimes when I come here, it's going to tell me that the last post that Julian did was a month ago. But in fact, if I go on LinkedIn, I'll see that he shared something 3 hours ago. So there's still a delay from both platforms, even if they sit in the same similar algorithm. It's not the same, but even if they sit in the same company, there's still a delay here in the information flow. But what I find interesting here is that based on the 3 filters that I did, I found 29 people that I can now dive deeper and try to understand how can I build a relationship with them. You probably all know, you click here, you save them to a specific list. You click here, you save the search, and you let the algorithm find new people that fit into this criteria. So let's say that today in the airport, Brandon meets 5 different people. He connects with them on LinkedIn. Sales Navigator will alert me. I don't need to do the searches again. I already get the notification from this new 5 connections that Brandon did. So the thing that I like the most about Sales Navigator is allowing us to filter deeper into things that we don't have on LinkedIn, and having the personal assistant side of things that I say what I want, the algorithm will try to find more people that fit into this criteria. I don't need to come here every day or every week and try to find more things. And if we are saving them correctly, what will happen is with time, our newsfeed is going to be flooded with information from relevant people. And we can just come here, filter if we want to get the notifications from leads or any specific lead list and start engaging with them. Does anyone have questions about specific questions about LinkedIn or Sales Navigator? LinkedIn as well, but
can you, Mariana, are you saying that feed there that you're looking at is coming from the list that you created based on Brandon's connections that we just went through? So it's a different feed?
This one not, because I didn't actually save the lead, but if I did, for example, let me go back. So if I save this, Brandon's connections, and then if I go back, I can come here. It's loading, but if I come here and I say I want, okay, no one is coming. That's the tricky thing of doing things live. It should come. It should come because they were all active. So there's no alerts. But it should work. Let me try with another list to see if it's a bug. No. Here we can find it. Okay, we found a glitch on Sales Navigator. It may be taking some time.
That never happens, right?
No, LinkedIn is flawless.
So Brandon, how should this be tied into what you would do in fist bump? what would be the best practice to, if we don't want to cover that now, but it seems like there could be some 1
Yeah,
+ 1 = 3.
yeah, I mean,
Did
We
everyone
lost
lose
him.
Brendan? Okay.
He froze.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's saying something brilliant too.
Yes.
Mariana, I actually love this feature. This is one of my favorite things about LinkedIn or Sales Navigator. The one thing that I'm challenged with, and maybe you'll address this in a little bit later, is that I feel like I have to toggle back and forth between LinkedIn, because when you send a message from Navigator, it looks different to the customer than it does if you send it from LinkedIn. And my reply rate in LinkedIn seems to be better than Navigator.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's the reason, but that's the one thing that I don't like, is that I feel like I have to pop back over to their LinkedIn profile, which you can do inside of Navigator, but it just.
Yeah. I honestly don't like to send messages through Sales Navigator, because I always feel like they have a salesly approach, and that's why I feel most of the reply, we don't have a reply actually, because if it seems like an email, okay, he's gonna try to sell me something at some point. What the approach that I have is, if I find someone on Sales Navigator, my first step is not to send them an email, is to go into their profile on LinkedIn. Let's say that, Michael, you posted something interesting a week ago. I'm going to comment into your post. Based on your digital handshake, you acknowledging my comment, whether it is with a like or a reply to my comment, I'm going to send you a connection request, and then I'm going to start the conversation in the direct messaging, because then I feel like the response rate is higher. I do the discovery on Sales Navigator, and then I take the conversation to LinkedIn.
Yeah, you go onto LinkedIn and do that. You do the commenting. Okay, got it.
Yeah, exactly. Because otherwise I feel like it's too cold. And if I don't know, and if I want to send you a message, why won't I want to be connected to you? So this is the reasoning I have. Of course, everyone has a different perspective. But if I found your profile interesting, I'm going to go on LinkedIn and try to connect with you as soon as possible.
Yeah. Like about that, Mariana, Sales Nav, is that it does add people to your lists.
Yeah.
And what's interesting about that, James and Butch and others, if you're interested in how I use it, is in my business, at least, when a new executive enters a company, you've got about 90-day window, according to science, not my science. Somebody told me this. You've got 90 days that you can really get access easier, because they want to make a difference in their new job. And so if you've got something transformative that you think they might be interested in. So I really like that shift that occurs, and it gives me that kind of 90-day window to really focus in on those people. So
yeah, and one thing based on this that you were mentioning is, I often come here into my saved searches and I go only to the new results.
Yeah,
and
that's nice.
I didn't know the science behind what we were saying, but there's a filter here on Sales Navigator that allow us to see change jobs, and these are people who changed jobs in the past 90 days. So if we filter down, we have that exact window of them wanting to make a change, and how do we approach them. And let's think about the last time that we took on a new job. The 91st days, you're trying to prove that you were the best person for that job. So you're trying to bring new ideas, and you're a little bit more open to sometimes even people that you don't know, but if they have the right message, you're going to go for them.
Where was that? Where did you show the new results? It popped up on the right side of the screen.
Yeah, if you click on saved searches, yes.
Okay.
And then every saved searches that I have here has the new results. And then you can click just on the new results. And if these are not good, you can just click on see all results, and you have the full result from the search.
Okay.
And then I think it's a matter of us understanding what is exactly, so first, who's our target audience? Who do we want to find? And then use this, leverage the filters that we have here to try to narrow it down, make sure that we don't have 5 5K results, but we have like 300. And then we're week by week trying to navigate and understand, okay, is this person exactly who I'm looking for? No. So eliminate them from the lead list. Is this the person that I want to? Yes, take them to LinkedIn. Because I feel like Sales Navigator is the behind the curtains part of things. When we go to LinkedIn, it's one step closer into building a relationship in the real world with them. And then it's about proposing a meeting or getting the first virtual coffee that we want. And one thing that also helps me a lot on Sales Navigator is that we can, let me just clear all. I'm not sure if it's too small, but you can also pin some filters that you're normally using to make it easier for you to find them. So if I click here into pin filters, I can see all the most relevant ones for me are pinned. And even if I have the collapsed version, I can still find them. So it's a simple thing, but it helped me a lot with time to find them and not, okay, there are like 35 different filters. What are the ones that I want? I know they're pinned. So I'm just coming here and selecting it. And there's a lot more that we can do. One other thing that I normally do is I save people into a lead list. And then I come here, I clean all, and I say, I put it here. And I try to engage with them through here instead of going through the lead list, because when you're in the lead list view, you can quickly just click on the post that they did recently or easily see the mutual connection that you have or anything like this. So I normally work with this view or through the homepage. But as we saw, the homepage sometimes not working based on the Brandon's Connections example. So I normally come here into the filters and try to explore if I like them, if I want to remove them for any leads and try to work on this connections.
And the notifications worked pretty well for that too, if you've got time, because it is a quick link into their actual post, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And you can quickly comment, like, react, whatever.
This is actually a good point.
It's interesting to me that Mariana, I'm glad you're doing a course on this, because it's interesting because I think everybody but me on this call said they have it, but they don't really use it. And I just think from a sales brain perspective, it works well.
Yeah.
But it's the one quirk that you don't want to feel like that. You don't want them to feel like you're the salesperson stalking them, I guess. So
yeah, exactly. And you mentioned the notifications, but I think it's a great thing for us to talk about, because here I only have 7 notifications. It's easy for me to go there and see what it is. But if you have all your notifications toggle on, and you save a lot of leads and a lot of accounts, you might be coming here to 100 notifications, and it's going to be impossible for you to go through all of them. So coming into your picture and going to the settings, and I do have a lot of notifications, is determining what you want to get a notification. So if you're not interested into any activities from the accounts, you're more interested into the leads, just toggle off everything, and you're only going to get a notification specifically for engage with a post from a company. If they engage with a post from my company, it shows that they already know who we are. It's going to be easier for me to try to build a relationship with them. And since we're here, this is something that I find very important to talk about. How other people view your activity on Sales Navigator. I like to leave it on all the time because I want Michael, James, Butch to know that I went into your profile. Because this could be the first touch point to build a relationship. If I'm going full anonymous and you see someone been into your profile, you don't know who this person is. It's making it harder for me to break the noise and to make my profile being noticed by other people. So don't be scared. Leave it open unless you're going to a competitions profile, then okay, you can go private mode. But know that your privacy mode on LinkedIn is different than Sales Navigator. So if you're on private mode on LinkedIn, but your full disclosure here open on Sales Navigator, and you go into their profile on Sales Navigator, they will know that you've been there. So if you want to go private on all two platforms. What else?
And your advice is not to do private.
I prefer not to go private. The only way I will go private is if it's a competition or if it's a confidential project that I'm working and the other person don't know. But if it's a prospect or someone that I would like to do business with, I'll go with my profile open because I want them to get a notification saying Mariana visited your profile, for them to come back to my profile to try to assess if I'm a credible person, if I'm someone that they want to engage with. And what normally happens is people send me a connection request before I even send them a connection request. So the way I see it is almost like I'm putting an inception in their mind and they feel like they are taking the first step, not me.
Yeah, I'm gonna piggyback on that, is because a lot of times, especially people in sales, they don't want that on because they feel like a stalker. When we're consistently publishing content, we're commenting on other people's posts, we change the lens. We don't look as much like a stalker. We just look like somebody who's active on LinkedIn.
Exactly.
Because they do go look at your profile and you never post, then yeah, you look like a stalker. They're like, oh, they're gonna pitch slap me.
Exactly.
But when you're active, it changes that lens, and that's my opinion as well.
Yeah, definitely, because when they see you as a trusted advisor or a thought leader, someone that is adding value into the industry, they want to be connected to you, even if you are straight away sales, because they know that they can learn a lot from you. And one thing that James said in the beginning of the session that I think it's interesting, they are your prospect, even if they're not going to buy from you right now. It is up to you to nurture this relationship. And when they are ready to buy, the first name that comes into their mind is yours. But if we try to connect with them today, they say, okay, I'm not ready to buy now, and we just forget that they exist. In 6 months, when they are ready to buy, the competition already won the project because they've been nurturing them. And one other interesting thing is they're normally, especially if we're going to big enterprises or bigger companies, there are at least 7 or 10 different people involved in the decision-making process. We need to be connected with a lot of people. If we have a small account, there are 20 people in a company, we should be connected with at least 10 of them. I don't want to lose a business because a key stakeholder changed moved to another company. If you're connected with 5, 10 people within your target accounts, even if they move, you still have 6 people to back you up.
Hmm.
A swarm approach.
Yeah.
It's been good, Mariana. Any other comments or questions? Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say I love the list and all the different filters that are on here. I haven't personally messed with that. One thing that would be nice is seeing the titles of the people that show up in the list instead of you typing the name of the titles. And maybe I don't know if I'm missing it, but in filters, right? I have a list of 300 people, and you can look at current job title.
Mm-hmm.
So say you wanted, director of marketing, you have the seniority level, but their actual job title, if you expand that, it doesn't show a list of all of the job titles in the search results. You've got to type it in.
Yeah, this one is one of the filters that I don't like because I can be head of marketing, I can be director of marketing, I can be CMO, and this can all mean the same thing depending on the company that you're working. So this is one of the filters that I normally don't use. What I try to do is coming here, for example, into and this is also interesting, into the search bar, and then I'm trying to, if I want directors of marketing, I already added director in the seniority level, so I can just add here marketing.
Like that.
But what I can do also is use the Boolean search and add some modifiers. So I want people in marketing or sales. So I added here or, and it has to be in caps lock. And let me just expand a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I can also say not digital. So I don't want people in digital marketing. I just want hardcore marketing. And I can say and something else. So by adding these modifiers, you're making it easier to find the exact person that you want to engage with.
Cool.
So normally I
like
use
that.
it here. Yeah. And I remember something else that now it slipped my mind. One other thing is I can say, for example, on my LinkedIn profile that I'm the CEO of a baking company that I have in my kitchen. If you type it in CEO, I'm going to pop up into your results. And I'm not the right person that you want to engage with. So what I normally use as well is, yes, we have the seniority level here, but there's an option that you can say, for example, years of experience. So if I'm just a junior, fresh from a university, and I have my baking thing in my kitchen, I'm not going to pop up here, even if I have the CEO in my job title. So here you're making sure that people have at least 10 years of experience, so they should have a bit of more of a decision power into what you're doing. Remember, the profile is something that we create. So I can add anything that I want there. I can say that I'm director of whatever. I can say that I'm a founder or so play a little bit with the filters. Try to add here, for example, the connections off is something that I really like. People who've recently visited your profile. In this result, I don't have anyone, but also following your company. These are showing already high buyer intent, as LinkedIn calls it, but they show a little bit of interest already in you or your company. So this would be the first go-to people that I would go.
Very helpful.
I could go on and on for hours and hours about LinkedIn and Sales Navigator, but maybe another day.
We have more trainings to do for sure. Yeah. Thank you, Mariana. Anyone have any other questions or anything for her? Traditionally, for me, when I say I don't use it very well, I use it to search. I use it for notifications, especially notifications that you can get when there's a change or a new hire in the company. Those are things that you can't get inside of LinkedIn. Like you can go into LinkedIn and ring a bell, which will tell you every time somebody publishes content, which from an engagement standpoint is really important. But when something else happens in the company, they hire a new CRO or something, those are really important too, because then you've got the 90-day rule that Cups reference, you got a short window. And I think if you can craft a good message then, and it is a bit of a long shot in my opinion, but it's still worth it. You send them a message that's not just everyone hits the congratulations on your new job and they get overwhelmed with all these messages, but send them something relevant. Like, the Christine Carson like to say, be brief, be brilliant, be bold. Take your time and do the research. Like, how can you really help them in their new role? And as we said before, in their first 90 days, they're trying to make a point. It's a good time it's an opportunity to really capture their attention, but you got to be specific. You got to do your research. You don't just send a generic message at that point. And then when I find people, if I wanted to be, I look and see if they've been posting, they've been more active. Then I move them, I click the view on LinkedIn, and then I add them into Fist Bump so I can engage with them over there.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree also with what James said, slow down to speed up.
Go slow to move fast.
That's exactly.
I didn't say it. That was Brandon. Brandon said that. I was just
okay.
That's what we talked about last week, but that's that Brandon, when you were talking, that's the thought that popped in my head. Being intentional, it takes a little bit extra time, but that's what makes you stand out from everybody else that just gives a thumbs up or whatever.
And it's the combination, right? We're stacking actions on top of each other. We're consistently posting, we're consistently commenting. You have a show, like all these things add up. And then when your specific message hits them, what do most people do? If it's generic, we ignore it. If it's more specific and captures their attention, what do? We click on their name, we go look at their activity. We go see, like, well, who is this person? And then you see, oh, look, their featured posts have all these cool looking carousel posts and they're all in uniform. They look more buttoned up, and you see all their posts, you see all their comments. The lens changes.
Yeah. Hey, Cups, got an email earlier this week. Colleen Japuntik, she's the CEO of a company called NEMA, NEMA. She's going to check out Time Bandit. She saw you on the pushing the envelope, and so anyway, I'll shoot you her profile.
Yeah.
See if maybe they're a potential prospect.
Yeah. Great.
Dark
Thank you.
Social in action.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Cool.
I hate the term, but love what it represents.
Say that again.
It's dark. The term, it's just a bad term in my opinion. It's called dark social. It brings up thoughts of dark web, which is totally negative. But dark social is a definition of when you're found somewhere in social, and then it leads them back to your organization or leads them back in. So in this case, she heard about Cups on your show, and now is going to talk to him about Time Bandits. They call that dark social because for a lot of traditional marketers, they can't apply a perfect attribution to that, right? So Cups was on your show. So let's say instead of calling you or emailing you and asking about it, she goes, Cups, Time Bandits, and she just does a Google search, finds him. Digital marketers would add attribution to SEO. Well, that's not what happened. So that's why they call it dark. You don't have perfect light on where it came from, but it's this dark social in action creating demand without perfect attribution.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
I said just the term brings up dark web, and people go, no. That's actually a very positive thing.
So how's Cairo, Brandon?
I don't know. I'm not there yet. You should ask Reem and Aya and Sadala and Noor. They know.
All right.
I'm sure.
Yeah, this is Paris.
I've got.
Cairo's going to be better when Brendan is here.
Oh, thanks.
Rooting for you.
Yeah, I'm excited. I get in the middle of the night, but other than that, I'm tired. My flight was 7 hours, and I think maybe I got 4 hours of sleep. But
so you could swing by and see Mariana before you drop over to Egypt.
No,
I think
I told him that he should have stayed in a layover in Lisbon, not in France. But
he literally flew right over you and didn't even stop.
Exactly.
I know.
Just a quick stop.
I should have done that better. So, all right, everybody. Well, happy
See you
Friday,
guys.
happy Labor Day weekend for all of you, and Egyptian team. I'll see you tomorrow or Sunday.
Yay! Thank you, Mariana. That was so helpful.
Thank you.
To be honest.
Mariana, thank you so much. That was awesome.
Very nice to meet you all.
So excited for you to be on our team.
Me too.
See you guys.
Yep.
See you. Bye.
See you. Bye. Have a good weekend.